the camera. No, I want to tell you.
You want it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I tell you.
Oh la la! So, being a lawyer and working mainly in the system of the occupation, one realizes that all the legal system is aimed at enabling the occupation and legalizing it. So legalizing evils, we know, is a very easy process. But it was made much easier by the military authorities, where all you have to do in order to legislate is just the signature of a military commander, the same military commander that nominates the judges. That's the military governor that acts the laws. This is the same military governor that orders the destruction of a house and orders the administrative detention and everything that is considered illegal according to international law, unacceptable by the Geneva Convention, which Israel is a party. And that's the same military commander that confiscates lands from Palestinians. So we know, yes, there is a row of laws and legal orders, and everything is pseudo-legal. And everything is aimed at oppressing the Palestinians, depriving them of their property and of their elementary rights to assemble, to elect, to decide upon the futures. So what does a progressive lawyer do in this framework? Trying to somehow ease it upon the Palestinians, to somehow find immediate solutions for problems that are really unsolvable. The atmosphere, of course, of the daily work is very difficult because you can see and feel the oppression, the daily oppression, and one feels quite impotent. The longer the occupation takes place, the Israeli public opinion becomes more and more deaf. The cries that comes out of the occupied territories. And we work more and more in such a circle, which is complaining and bringing more complaints, and they continue to do whatever they want to do, and they don't give a damn on public opinion or on what will people say, or on what is the moral figure of the average Israeli or the average Israeli soldier, etc. And we as Jews become more and more normal people, which means just like any other oppressors. If we believed, we Jews believed that we have some uniqueness because we were scattered for so many years, or because we were chased and hated for so many years because of our religion, etc. We find ourselves in the end of the 20th century just like any other South African white. No uniqueness anymore. We are another colons that oppress other people. That's all. And living in the heart of the occupation means learning it very fast. Full stop. Bye-bye.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it, right? Did I miss anything?
No, if you want to end it, that's okay, man. But
Yeah, I mean, you will not put more than this in the film, right?
oh yeah, you might.
Can you cut it to small questions? Myra, من فضلك.
Okay.
Myra, can you cut it? תיקחו לכם את זה. Can you cut it to small questions?
Okay. One question.
Small questions. Question answers, right?
What's the worst thing you've seen in the last 3 weeks before? No shocking.
The prosecutor, I see him every day. The prosecutor, I see him day after day. That's the worst thing I ever saw.
Americans have no impression of what Israeli military court is like for Palestinians.
Now, what is really the worst thing I saw? The worst thing I saw was not the suffering of a particular Palestinian, which is something you see quite often in military courts. It's not a crying mother of Palestinian, it's not a 13-year-old young boy, it's not a young woman who tried to stab a soldier. The worst thing for me to see is the process. No, it's not the process. It's the outcome of the process of the Israeli soldiers. First of all, the military prosecutors are young, full of hatred to the Palestinians. And they are the product of the last 24 years occupation. You can see people who are totally indifferent to anything that is human rights. Totally indifferent. If you could hear a few years ago some kind of apologetic attitude, now they even stopped apologizing. The other horrible thing I saw in the courts is the racism of the Israeli average soldier, whether he's young or old. Racism to that extent that I heard with my own ears, and I filed a complaint, a young officer in the Israeli army having a debate with his friend whether Palestinians should be killed by shooting or not, and he said, I think that gas chambers are the right thing for him. I filed a complaint immediately. The day before yesterday I went again to the same entrance to the prison where I saw the officer, and I met a friend of his, and I asked him. I was very victorious. I talked to him in a very victorious attitude. I said, you see what I did to your friend after he was telling me this racist phrase? He said, what do you mean you see what I did? You know how it passed, what happened to him? For him it was like a piece of cake. I said, what do you mean by it? What was like a piece of cake? He said, he had this trial by his commander and it went like a piece of cake. That was the answer. He said like a piece of cake in English, by the way. And he's a newcomer, an immigrant from Russia, this soldier. But the word I liked it, the way he said, for him, you think you caused him any damage? For him it was like a piece of cake. That's it. That's the summing up of the new Israeli.
You seem
It's nice, no? Like a piece of cake.
you seem extremely cynical and discouraged about it. What outcome do you predict? What will happen here in the next few years?
Oh, I don't want to know. I don't know. It's difficult to think that something will come out of the Israeli people. They are in too many benefits to want to change the situation. And the moral problem doesn't really bother them too much anymore. With the Palestinians, it depends, of course. They're now under an enormous wave of oppression, and I don't know how it will affect them. So perhaps an earthquake or some hurricane would do. Yeah.
What should people be doing who are concerned now?
Huh?
What should people be doing now who are concerned in the United States?
Stand on the mountain and shout. I don't know. Shout, shout, shout. Not talk, not explain, just shout.